man, reaching that higher plane as love comes walking in. Right here at Spring Creek, the veritable headwaters of life from the beginning. Are you ready, babies? Yes, indeed, I think you must be, because Grandpa's here to set us all free, including you and me. And that little dragon that you see flying overhead, oh, baby, you're not dead. You're just seeing through what's real, man, and seeing what the deal really is here. Oh, darlings, you're getting it clear on the Jayyy Radio Network with multi-dimensional rock and roll right from the heart and soul of good old Grandpa, don't you know? Grandpa Coyote, that is. And our little dog, Oakie Kanobe, who is our assistant DJ, a whiny weeny dog that says, love 'em all today, okay? Coyote medicine boiling up, right up with a first little drop of water ever to come from that wellspring of life, babies. You betcha, right here at Spring Creek. Oh, darlings, right from the beginning. Now we heading over to California, gonna check out that Mojave, see if she's coming into blossom just yet, babies. I tell you what, if you ain't never seen the Mojave in blossom, you got to see it this year. It's gonna be spectacular, babies, within the next week or two. So get your body out there if you can, or if you're nearby, make sure you make a little drive through that land, because it's well more than worth it, man. I tell you what, I can remember one time back there in the 80s when it did that, when we had a really wet winter, and man, out come all the blossoms of life, man, all at once too. God, it was gorgeous. The cactus and the flowers that never blossom, there they are everywhere, man. And you just get out and walk around in it. You're just such in a euphoric state, man. The fragrance, the color, the life, the vibration. You can hear the symphony of life playing across your heart, and all them flowers too, baby. It's an experience you don't want to be missing. I'm telling you, man. It's boy, it's so true. You got to be there, baby. You got to go there. And if you don't, well, you know, dream yourself there. Do a little out of body or whatever you call it, man. A little astral travel, man. Get over there and wake up and smell the coffee. And, baby, visualize the flowers. Experience the flowers of the desert, man, because it hardly ever does that now, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, babies, we blossom every day here in that Coyote sort of way at Spring Creek, the veritable headwaters of life, only and exclusively. Well, where else? The Jayyy Radio Network, babies. Oh, you rock and roll. Oh, darling, this is where you find a life. You ain't had one before this, man. Not before you run into the rock and roll Jesus of your own little heart, you betcha. Taking it to the streets, man. Living life like the living work of art that we are, man. Colorful little beings with, you know, the paintbrush of love all over us, man. Wherever we go, we're painting them, you know, a beautiful, super righteous video, you know. And we got them tuned in from all across the universe today, man. Watching to see what we're going to be on a day that's supposed to be free, like a free day Friday, wouldn't you say? Oh, darlings, I think that's the way. Now, this guy over here on this other side got to shut his big mouth. He's distracting me. Where the hell is he here? There he is there. I got to get him to shut up, man. He's making too much. There we go. Can't have no mumbling coyotes in the background. We got mumbling coyotes in the foreground now, can we, babies? Oh, darling. So good to be alive and living. And having made it through yet another 5-day work week here today on this free day Friday. Oh, it's been ruggedy and difficult. We had technical issues, and we had, you know, spiritual issues, and we had love issues, and we had emergency issues, people getting evicted and having to go find a new life. And oh, shit, I mean, you know, gosh, one thing after another. But, man, I tell you what, it's been a flow. It's been a rock. Yeah, it's been hard and hairy, but it's also been a roll, because everything kind of goes the way it needs to go, and it all gets into a flow. By free day Friday, you know it's all going to work out, because you know it already has by then. You see, that's why you're free, because all of this anxiety and shit we went through during the week, by Friday it's all over with, and let's go party in Las Vegas, eh? No, not Las Vegas. Too big, too greasy, too sleazy these days, man. Not easy at all. You know, I know a lot of people, well, at least a number of them anyway, gone into Las Vegas, you know, in a $50,000, $100,000 limousine, you know, and right out of there on a $700,000 bus, man. Thank God for Grey Dawg and, a little public charity on the part of the corporate mafia to run that town these days. By the way, the Mormon church is really big and all that. Thick as thieves. Isn't that funny, man? I tell you what, you just never know. That's like the Vatican being mixed up on... Well, son of a gun, it's the same old thing, isn't it, man? You got the Vatican, it's the world's banker, and you got, the Mormons, which are the world's gamblers, man. Or not gamblers, what do they call it? Gamblees? Gamblers? I don't know, but anyway, yeah, gamblers, that's what they are, because they don't gamble, they take it all, man, Haven't you ever seen that one movie where they're shoveling up the bills with scoop shovels and dumping them in dump trucks and hauling them away from the Las Vegas casinos? I always told them when I passed through there, I gave at the office, man, and I lost on the office pool every time, man. I can't help it, I'm just a sucker for the mafiosi. I tell you what, I remember the day when Las Vegas was really fun, like back in the 60s and the 70s, and it wasn't too big then. It was starting to grow, yeah. You know what? They tore down the best clubs in town, the Sahara and the Thunderbird, and built big shitty palaces over the top of them that ain't worth a damn. Probably all of them going to fall over, burn out. Oh, I hope not, though. I don't want to be negative today, but sometimes progress gets in the way of real progression, wouldn't you say? I mean, like the Sahara. I mean, that's where, Dino and Sammy Davis and all them used to hang out a lot, and the Thunderbird, well, shit. That was, a whole bunch of people's hangouts. I can't remember all the stars we used to run into in there, but it was always rocking, man, The little clubs, they deserve a life, I mean, even though Bugsy Siegel owned it all and all that, who cares, man? I mean, shit. The whole thing's a rigged game and we know it. And that's just a little carnival, a little carny attraction out there in the middle of nowhere, a desert. You gave them an excuse to build a dam over in the river so they could get up some electricity over there and a little bit of water, and build a city where there wasn't, nothing but sand and gritty things and jackrabbits and rattlesnakes. Like, jackrabbits didn't even live there. It's too damn hot, man, Still is, I tell you what. But I've seen it snow 6 inches in Las Vegas before with you. Kind of shuts the place down because they don't know what to do when they got all that white stuff around. I tell you, they park their cars on the highway, man. Just walk away. I ain't driving on this slippery stuff today. Your showgirls, man, you got to, pamper those kids, You can't be expecting them to drive on snow and ice and stuff. Well, nowadays, Las Vegas, has grown way out from its little center there, which really was just a little railroad junction that the Mormons owned a long time ago. And maybe it's when Bugsy came to town and said, well, shit, this looks like the perfect place for a gambling town, because he knew the train from L.A. could bring lots of people their way, And they'd love to get out of there because L.A. is such a hellhole, Well, I don't know if Vegas is any better, but at least, it's a nice little carny side attraction, And back in the day, you could go watch all the big stars, like Elvis and Kenny Rogers and Frank Sinatra and, and Baba Wawa and whoever it was, anyway. All them big stars, all the big comedians, all of that for, $5, $6, $10, and then, of course, you got to tip off the maitre d' and stuff. And you get free drinks on top of that, man. Of course, they're weak, but... Who wants a strong drink when you're in Las Vegas, man? You don't want to get too drunk there. You always got to have your coyote eyes open, man, in that town, because there's always somebody coming around. You'll notice now, here you are innocently sitting at a gambling table there in Las Vegas. Let's say a blackjack table for lack of better terminology, but it could be the crap table too, And you're starting to win, man. You're getting a little pile of chips in front of you. 2, 3, 5, 6, 700, maybe $1,000 bucks, man. You're making some dough, if you can just get out of there with it. And all of a sudden, you're surrounded by friends you didn't even know, man, And there's this one girl, I won't even describe the activity. I don't want to be, too leery, not to get me too excited this early in the day talking that way. I had to send my girlfriends away already, man. I just told them, man, I'm too old and it's too early. But baby, you just wouldn't know. And I tell you what, pretty soon there, you find an excuse to spend some chips elsewhere, don't you, man? I mean, it's amazing how that goes, So if you ain't losing to the house, you're losing to the vultures that hang around the house. But boy, I'll tell you what, they're some of the most gigantic, just some of the most gorgeous, well, anyway, some of the, well, I hesitate to reveal too many secrets, but You know, there are housewives that party down in Las Vegas at certain times of the year and make a small fortune and come home and party down in a peaceful sort of way in their old hometown all across the West, wouldn't you say? I mean, you know, I guess that's intelligence at play, but it seemed like kind of a rough way to me because Vegas, man, is filled with ew. Ew. But I tell you what, it's one of the funnest towns there'd be if you're happy in your heart, man. They can't mess with you, you know. But now it's way too big. I don't recommend Las Vegas anymore. I recommend Reno. That's where I would go if I was going to go gambling, which I don't anymore. Well, I never really did. It's true, kid. You step up to the table, you already know what kind of day it's going to be, and you already know which way the flow's going to go. And babies, you know, either you sit down and play or you don't, because you already know that you couldn't make it that day, you know. I mean, that's how you're really supposed to play. And that's not gambling. That's just, you know, earning a little income from those that would take it all away. Nothing wrong with that today, now is there, you know? Shit, that's just fair play, man, you know? You ought to have seen it one time in the Shy Clown Casino. I'm going to name you guys because you did it, you Weasley things, you. But anyway, I'm down there at the Shy Clown Casino in Sparks, Nevada, which is one of my favorite little hangouts in that area. I mean, I didn't go there all the time or nothing, but if I had a few minutes to kill there, sometimes I'd go there and, you know, see if I couldn't make back a little bit of my paycheck that I'd lost already. Oh, I never lost very much back in that day. I had a $20 limit. If I lost that, I'd go away. And I wouldn't come back till another day, you know. So anyway, this day I made a lot of money, man. Yeah, it was blackjack, wouldn't I? Do it on the crap table every now and then, too, get hot like that, you know. But anyway, I made a lot of money that day, you know, out of a $20 bet, you know. I had every boss in the house crowding around that table, scowling at me, and the lady dealer was sweating like a son of a gun, but she took it in style. But of course, they quickly replaced her with the house shark, man, and he did his best to take it all away and got most of it, I tell you, you know. I mean, I didn't dare go out there with too much because I thought they thought me and that lady was cheating. Hell, I didn't know her from Adam, man. She just happened to be a hot dealer at the time, man. And they couldn't figure it out because she was dealing me straight, see? Thank goodness nobody got in trouble there. But I think if I'd have walked out of there with money, I might have got beat up and that money might have found its way back to the house. You know what I mean? Because that was the message I was getting from those guys. And that's why I give some of it back. I was buying my way out of there. You know, you got to be intelligent, man. You got to be wise in all of your dealings. See, I tell you, it's not gambling. It's just knowing what's going on, you know. Well, you know, I would have rather had the horde on the other side of the table like it is down in Las Vegas when all the hookers start surrounding you when you got a pile of chips in front of you. You know, over there in Reno, some of those places, I watch people throw away hundreds of thousands of dollars in just one play, you know, maybe sometimes millions. I've never seen millions on the table, but I've seen hundreds of thousands come and go pretty quickly. And people drunker than a skunk and didn't even know. Probably didn't care either, got so damn much. It's just a habit, you know, a hobby, you know, something to, you know, keep them feeling humble again or something. I don't know. Maybe it's a good tax write-off. I don't have any idea. But I'm sure you can write off gambling losses on your taxes to the extent that you win. Oh, they think they got you coming and going. But the reality is, let's rise up out of that money prison. There'll never be a Las Vegas or a Reno anymore. The towns will be a whole lot more friendly. When you sit down there at the gambling table, I mean, it'll be an even score right off the bat. And guess what? They want to give to you. If you start winning, everybody in the house starts cheering, man. You start losing, they kick you out of there. They say, we don't want no losers here, man. Only come in here if you want to win. See? We could change the whole thing around right here, right now, today. And then plus we'd hire a whole bunch of volunteers out of all the winners, you know, and we'd all go up to the Oroville Dam there in central North California there, you know, just off Oroville, by the way, a little south of Redding, a little north of Sacramento, give you an idea where it is, and right there against the foothills of the Sierra, okay? That's where that big old dam is today. Well, what's left of it, I don't know. I tell you, that thing's getting soggy, and old spillway is getting doggy, and they've been trying desperately to save things, and hopefully they will. Oh my goodness, what we would do is take that crew up there and we'd party down there at the big old dam town, and we would, you know, be the volunteers that put new boulders in place and all that shit, and, you know, just get that thing working right. Mainly we'd hold the energy. So the dam wouldn't want to go. It would say, oh, hell, I couldn't do that, can't do that to these people. Even though it's California and it's an obscenity, I just can't do that. I'm not a damn dam, I'm a good dam. See, it takes partying people to help that reality. Well, did you guys know you already did save North Central California already? That your energy and your love and your heart kept that dam from washing out in the first place when that one wall was about ready to give in there, the emergency spillway as they call it. They let the lake get fuller than it ever been before, and all of a sudden they had a big disaster on their hands. And they still might, you never know, but hopefully we did avoid it this time around. We'll see how it goes with the snow and everything, but you know, if you can get through the February Chinook when it comes, those things are deadly, man. Especially further north of there. Oh my God, you get up there in Washington and Oregon and that Chinook weather, and oh, whew, the whole land is a river, man. You just have to kind of pick your way through muddy spots, one muddy spot to another, man. I'm telling you, it can get really rough up there. But, you know, nothing like California does when the big dam breaks, huh? So, see, we ain't going to let the damn dam break. The damn dam is a good dam, and it's not going to go, okay? Because all these partying people already come out to play. And I put our souls and spirits over there and thought about all the fine people down below and says, no, we cannot do this to them. So we won't let the dam go, see? So it didn't wash out on that side. So the big dam's still there. And, you know, the spillway's all screwed up, but you know, that's just going to give somebody's brother-in-law a huge multi-billion-dollar contract this summer to quickly rebuild that thing, right? And then they probably won't have torrential rains for another 3 years or something, the way it's been going. But I don't curse California with that. I bless you with all the rain you need and not too much of it, okay? Don't want to get you too soggy down there, even though you do grow a lot of rice in that territory. And soggy's the way of that kind of day, ain't it, until you come to harvest, I'd say, anyway. And I like eating rice every now and then, you know, especially if I'm out eating, you know, Szechuan or something like that. You gotta have a little rice over there to balance out the hot peppers, man. You know what I mean? So we don't want California going out of business. The dam is going to hold, and, you know, somebody's brother-in-law is going to be smiling this summer when that huge contract comes down. Governor Moonbeam takes care of his people, believe you me. Oh, it's just like Las Vegas. You know, the mafia owns it all, man. Shit. California been that way for a long time. You know, Las Vegas is just a little side corporation. Well, Reno, too, but they don't own quite as hardly there as they do down there in Vegas. In Vegas, it's, you know, because it's the desert, it's harsh, you know. Reno, because it's the mountains, it's a little softer, you know, a little higher up, a little more elevated form of thinking. I mean, they're still stinkers and stink butts and take your money and kick your butt out in the cold, you betcha, man, and not think twice about it. You got drunk, got stupid, you let the hooker, you know, help you engage with the house, etc. etc., etc., see. Well, but darlings, you know, that day is done. The day of the hard heart, the day of, you know, it's undone when you step out in the sun with your heart engaged most fully and practically, as much as you can possibly be alive inside of the heart, the intelligence of the divine inside of yourself. Yeah, you got that divine intelligence that's in your heart. So you can feel it right now, can't you? Got a little bit of worry, doubts, and fears around all that? Sure, why not, man? I mean, shit, how else you going to test it out and prove it to itself, huh? Except you don't need to do that now. That's all that old teenage silliness. It don't have no confidence in itself and is trying to find it, man, you see? The reality is you already know. The reality is you already live in that flow, and every little moment you've been living, it ain't like gambling, man. It's just going where you want it to go for whatever the reason that there may be for you to be there in that hypocrisy, even if that's where you are. And whatever it takes to get us through, man, each one of us is serving each other, too. And we're doing what's best for the universe right along the way. Believe it or not, even here right in this moment or right now today. That's called being a part of the divine process, the universal symphony, the symphonic heart that is rock and roll and medicine for our willing soul, man, because the heart leads it, don't you know? See, that's the secret to every bit of living straightening out here, including that blessed dam up there that ain't damned at all. Well, we got to keep that Shasta Dam going too. They're not talking about it, but I question its worthiness too, man. In fact, any of those in California, I question the worthiness of because, well, contractors don't always do what they're supposed to, and inspectors don't always look where they should, and stuff like that. I mean, sometimes things get signed off when they ain't quite up to par, you know. I mean, this is quite common in the construction trades, you know. So it would be better, you know, and in the future we got to think about this as we drain down these big lakes and replace them with little tiny ones, you know, that we'll never again build a big dam anywhere, man, never, you know. I mean, that's just obnoxious. We don't need to. If we want nature to regulate and not flood all over us and everything, well, then we better be that nature. We better have our best interests at heart so that she will too, see. That's undamming humanity. That's taking away all the curses that seem to be heaped on us by this Mother Earth, all the disasters and shit, and accepting only the blessed side of being, man, you know, because that's what the mother wants to be. She don't want to be angry. She don't want to send raging torrents and floods down or nothing, man. But can't be helped at times, you see. Because we've been so far away from herself, you know, she really didn't have the fixed solidarity with the human heart that she needed to, you know. We let her go. We denied her presence for so long, don't you know, by participating in what? Something we call patriarchy, that denied the presence of the mother and everything, even cursed its own mother. Where do you think that one little cuss word comes from that I use kind of infrequently here? Well, I hope it's real infrequently, but you know that one about being the son of a you-know-what. You know, it's like, wow, man, you know, see, we just made it part of our culture. And, you know, men and little boys, they sit around and demean women and turn them into, you know, just a little objective of one little part of their person and stuff, you know. It's crazy, man. It's no wonder we can't get it together. We're conditioned from the time we're tiny. Both sides are conditioned in different ways, by the way, and they make them sides. They don't let you just be boys and girls together. Boys over here, girls over there. They start the separation right away, see. We grew up together. I mean, really together. Not like in a family inside of a little house where everybody hates each other. You know, screw all that shit. In a tribe where everybody loves each other and they ain't all that family pressure anymore, you know. The uncles and aunts, you know, tell the kids what to do, not the parents, you know, or maybe the grandpas and grandmas, whatever, you know what I mean? It varies from tribe to tribe. But it's a shared thing, man, you know. So kids can't get away with nothing and they can't hate their parents because there's nothing to hate them for. Parents don't do anything but love the kids. That's the only obligation. Love, feed, and care for them, you know. But the other ones do all the choice making, you know, and tell the kids what to do. And if there's punishment or whatever, I mean, you know, hopefully none of that. You know, I mean, there never should be a punishment for anything. No one does anything that deserves that, no matter how rotten they might be. They get taken over, especially as children, you see. You got to recognize that. You know, I used to use that as a defense when I was a kid. You know, because they were all calling me the child of the devil. Well, then I'd just say, hey, the devil made me do that, you know. And they didn't believe me. But in a way, there's some truth in that. In every misactivity a kid creates. It's just a little wickedness sneaks into you. You don't know where it comes from, but it becomes an irresistible impulse. And you go with it instead of going the other way because it seems more fun than being a goody two-shoes any day. And, you know, that's what happens to children. That's how, you know, monsters are created. Because, you know, they have so much fun being a little bit dirty when they're little kids. They learn really young. That's where we get all of our training, man, you know. And, of course, that's not even talking about what goes on in the background in the secret hidden places, you know. Well, can't be so secret, can't be so hidden anymore. It's coming out in the open, baby. Maybe now's a good time for you to go read The Atomic Bomb so you can kind of put this thing in perspective. The Atomic Bomb is a little book I wrote a few years back, you know, under the pen name of Coyote Bear. Coyotes with a K, of course, always. And Bears, B-A-R-E. Because that is me standing there naked in the wind and spinning round and round in the sun. The cover's a very telling thing, but like some people say, you can't judge a book by its cover. But that's what it's about. This Atomic Bomb is about recovery from some harsh aspects of this reality. Some that goes a little beyond the 3D that has been operative here forever and a day, man. Some of all this wickedness we're talking about has its beginning in moments like those that the atomic bomb deals with, you see. So it's a little bit of humanity stories, a little bit of story about me, about you, about everyone else too, man. It's just like the way that it's been and the powers behind the powers that are, you see. And away we go. The only power there be is then the human heart, don't you see? Which is the mother's heart. So it's not just human, it's mother. Mother love in the heart. That's what mother is. And you see there seems to be two sides to your heart, but take a look at this thing. You know, it's two sides unified, therefore it's only one. One side presented all the way around. See, 360 degrees around, man, all the way around. And in every direction you can think of. The heart is unified with its creation. As it realizes its unification inside, and we lose this sense of the divided presence. The two wolves, snarling at each other. Oh, horse pucky, man, that is so frickin' lame. Time to get them to recognize they're both already tame. They're just nothing but love bunnies. Quit living the illusion. Let go of the lie of nirvana in Las Vegas. It never happened and never will. That place is going to dry up and blow away now, you know. It's useless, worthless. Served its purpose, goodbye, you know. But boy, what fun it was back in the day when all the old stars came out to play, and we just had so much fun. A whole lot more innocent back then, let me tell you, you know. It really was, you know. Even though it was sleazy even then, and there were lots of, you know, backstabbing thieves just waiting to scoop you up and, you know, eat you for lunch, man, you know. It's still a hell of a lot better than a lot of other places you could be, you know what I mean? You got to keep it all in perspective, baby. You know, life is available to us for certain specific reasons at certain specific times. I mean, we're always, again, in service to our own sweetheart and to the heart of humanity, whether we know it or not. Even when we're fighting our way uphill, man. 120 degrees out there, and you can't pull over. You got to keep on trucking. And that old needle, that temperature gauge just keeps climbing. You keep backing down on the gears as you're climbing them long hills out there going into Las Vegas, you know. Coming from California, I'm talking about. Yeah, and son of a gun, you know, you're almost crawling before that thing, you know, finally levels out and doesn't go above 220 or so, you know. You don't want to melt your turbo. You don't want to melt this truck. And most of all, you don't want to melt yourself. And a lot of times it gets so damn hot, you know, if your air conditioning don't shut down automatically, you got to shut it down climbing that hill. So it's like 150, 160 degrees in that cab. Your skin's starting to cook and you can smell it. Well, I exaggerate ever so slightly, but it's almost to that degree. Oh, this summer I wouldn't want to be traveling down here. It's so hot already this year. I mean, generally speaking, summer is not going to be, you know, my hobby's not going to be any place to be in the summer. So if you get a chance to go there now, just breeze through Vegas. Don't stop, man. You can stop at my my little nephew's place up there in Mesquite, Nevada. You know, he runs one of those big old buckets up there, and you know that you got to know because you know one of my nephews runs. It's got to be a straight. Well, I don't know. This guy's a real coyote, so. Oof. I recommend you just keep on trucking through Nevada, maybe stop by some gas, put a quarter in the slot machine just so they know that you care, and then get the hell out of there, okay? That is the way of a beautiful day. On a free day Friday here at Spring Creek. What is it? What is it? Come on, tell me, kids, what is it? The headwaters of life. And what else? It's the beginning, yeah, but well, it's where the place where it all begins, of course. Now, yeah, I'm glad you're finally catching on. Because I know I go round and round, sometimes turn you upside down and get you right side up, and then back upside down, then flip you around and bring you back to that other side of town you never been before, you know. You didn't even know it was there till you started living it multi-dimensionally, you see. Truth is, we never leave anything behind. We appreciate it all, and it's all living right here with us in this moment of time. So you better make some peace with it, wouldn't you say? Maybe you ought to work on that today and set yourself free. Now, how do you do that, baby? Well, shit, what do you even been talking about for, you know, all this time? Coming unwound inside. Stopping with the seriousness and get so silly we become deliriously happy, man. You know, live in a state of delirious happiness forever and a day. Because that is our way. As we realize, we created it all for our own entertainment. And for the entertainment of the entire universe, which of course is here to play with us each and every day, each and every moment that we live. You thought you were getting away with something. Shit. Nothing's hidden. It's all right here in the open. You can't hide a damn thing. And the more innocent we get inside, the less you're going to be able to hide anything. Free energy technology, anybody? Ooh, God, I got a real good interview with Mr. Tesla from way back when. I think I might get it up next week sometime. Babies, oh, you're going to love that. It's on par with Martin Luther King, etc. You know what I mean? Oh, we get some good shit here on this old Coyote medicine show we call Spring Creek, don't you know? Here on the Everclear Hazy Radio Network, dear. You better stay tuned. Keep your arse a rockin', man. Keep your heart a talking, man, because you need to listen to it now, okay? And how?